Hello YouTube, I'm going to talk about Lincoln wheat pennies and how you can buy these online. They'll advertise them as an unsearched roll of wheat pennies now. And sometimes they'll have stuff on the end like an Indian penny. And they'll say, this is unsearched. Well, what are the odds an Indian penny will get mixed in with these and end up on the end of a roll of coins? 50 wheat cents that someone just took out of a large bucket or something and packed up. Not very likely, I don't think. And I've even seen advertisements where they'll show you a mercury dime on the end of it. Again, if it's unsearched bucket of wheat pennies, what are the odds someone throws a mercury dime in there and it ends up on the end of 50 coin roll? No, what you generally get in these is a lot of 40s and 50s, a few 30s, a few 20s, maybe some teens. And oftentimes they'll say, there's one still cent in there. This is what this is. It's a 1943. They were made out of steel and zinc plated. They rusted really bad. People complained about them. The fact that they were silvery color, they just didn't like them. And they did it because they needed copper for the war effort, but they decided to go back to regular copper coins in 1944 and made a lot of wheat pennies over the years from 1909 to 1958. 59 they started the memorial design on the back. In this bag somewhere there was a 1909 penny as well. I don't know where it is. It's in here somewhere. I'm not going to search all these for it, but that's probably what was advertised on the roll. It probably said unsearched, but had an Indian penny on one end and a 1909 on the other, and said we'll have one still cent in it. But just don't pay a whole lot for them, and don't expect to get key dates in these, because these rolls like this, because if your job is to roll up coins from a bucket, the guy's probably going to tell you, look at the coin. If it's really nice looking, don't look if it's been too circulated, set it aside, throw the other ones just in there. It don't matter. And I mean, some of these got grime on the back of them even. Average circulated wheat pennies worth 3-4 cents maybe. And basically the copper they're made out of is worth a couple pennies. I haven't checked the price of copper lately, but it's worth more than spending the coin. You can find these come in change oftentimes, not the still cent one, but just the regular wheat penny. I've gotten many of them over the years. I've probably got 300 or 400 loose ones that I've gotten in change. But if you buy some of these, don't pay a whole lot for them for the roll, because the odds of getting some of the key date ones that are worth $10, $20, $30 or more, it's very low. Just keep that in mind. You can get a roll of these that says it's unsearched for $5 or $6, and you want to have a little fun going through all the coins and looking at them, and that's fine. But I'm on an auction site and bid $40, $50 on one, expecting to get a lot of nice coins, when you might get this and maybe one coin on the end that's actually worth something, and the rest of them are just circulated. So that's one thing to keep in mind. But it can be fun looking through a bunch of them just to see what you get. I think I even bought a couple like bags of loose ones like this that had a still cent in them, and they weren't. I probably paid too much for them back then. I didn't know as much about wheat cents as I do now. I do know my dad told me when I was a kid, find a wheat cent, I'll give you 3 cents for it. So we looked through the pennies and as kids and showed him all the wheat pennies. He gave us 3 pennies of, memorial ones. That's kind of fun. You get a little extra money as a kid and you think you... But somewhere along the lines I started searching them and I just kept them instead of selling them to him. And the little bag of wheat pennies I had grew and grew and grew over the years, and I've got hundreds of them. And this bag was in a Ziploc bag. It was just given to me recently. The person kept the Indian cent that was on the end and said, I don't want the rest of these. And so just gave them to me. I said, thanks. I always say thanks when someone gives you a free coin like this, because you don't always get them free. But you can find these in change a lot. Sometimes I'll find 2 or 3 a month, and some other times it might be a couple months before I get one. And I've even gotten probably 8 of these, not this year, but silver quarters over the years, including a 1932 Philly one, which the 32, I think it's the 32S is the really key date, and they're pricey. The 32 ones are not as much. But like I said, I've gotten about 8 of them in the change, some 64s, a couple, 3 probably, and maybe a 63, 60, whatever, maybe a 50s. But about 8 of them in total. And they are nice whenever they do that, because at silver melt, this coin's about $5.50. So if someone gives you a quarter that's silver in your change for buying a Coke, you didn't do bad. You basically got your Coke for free and some change back. Because this is worth more than a single bottle of Coke. Unless you're really, really thirsty, and then maybe not. But that's for you to decide. I'd prefer to get the coin myself. Anyway, that covers wheat pennies in unsearched rolls.